Here's a video of our Iveco 120-23. It's a great truck, seems to run strong. It's powerful. It has a 230 horsepower motor in it. I believe it's an 8-cylinder non-turbo. So if someone wanted a turbo, they could really crank some horsepower out of this thing. But it drives straight, drives really well down the road. It's got 45 by 14.5 Michelin XCL tires on it. It has a 9-passenger cab. Here's the big tires we put on it, as well as those are just U.S. military MRAP wheels that we just painted black, and they bolt right on perfectly and seem to give us the both offset because we changed the back to a super single instead of the dualies that came with it. The truck would include the original 6 tires and wheels that came with it as well. Here's this is what these numbers mean on these Mercedes and Ivecos. Is it's a 12-ton 230 horsepower motor. So big truck. I believe they get about 10 to 11 miles to the gallon. Seems like no matter whether you're in the city or highway, that's about what they get. There's more. There's no body rust that I've seen at all. Like, the body's really clean. The paint's still, you know, very bright red. Just typical fire engine red. You see a couple nicks here and there. But the only place where there's some like rust is in these fenders, and these are just bolt-on parts that could probably just be removed. Like this right here, it's not, you know, it's attached up here to the body, but it's a separate piece of metal. These are fine. Looks like a little spider here on the fenders. On the ones we have, we actually take these off and either paint them or bedline them black. Seems to take away a little bit of the fire engine look. We paint that front bumper black and do these fenders black. We've also sometimes taken a Dremel tool and opened them up a little bit just to kind of show off the big tires under them. And yeah, this step stool, these would have been intake hoses for the original water pump that we tore all those out of there. The roll-up doors all work great. Looks like a little galvanized. The paint's coming off in places on this galvanized body. The other ones I have are just plain steel, and had to do some rust repair on them. This one seems like it would handle the rust a lot better, being either aluminum or aluminum zinc or galvanized. And here's the back. It's big. I think this, I have to measure again. I think it's about 12 feet long, this box, by about 5.5, almost 6 feet tall inside. And so we've actually, out of one of them, it's been made into a camper with a queen-size bed in it, and then we did a rooftop tent on top. So you can have a lot of fun with these. The other really nice thing about this is that its top speed is 65 miles an hour, and then it's governed by the RPMs, so it has a governor on it. People have turned those up to get a little more speed out of them. I haven't messed with it, but they also, unique thing, I don't know of any other of the 230 horsepower Ivecos. I know there's a couple, there's 360 horsepower Ivecos. I have one of them. I had 2 of them. There's only 3 that I'm aware of in the country. I'm not aware of another 230 horsepower Iveco in the country, in the United States. And so this one's unique, being that it's a much higher horsepower than the 160 horsepower ones. And here you have seating for 4, with tons of storage underneath. And then over here is seating for 3 with a little bit of storage under it. And our other one, we've replaced this. We put a really nice, you can do like 2 razor seats back in here, like 2 of the 2-person razors, to get much more comfortable seating for 4. And then we've pulled this upper rack system for the firefighter apparatuses out and moved that bench up higher to give more leg room here, and then moved a 4-person bench across the top up there on hinges with storage underneath it, just to give more leg room, make it a little more comfortable, since we didn't need the storage there for the air tanks the firefighters would have used. Headliner's great. Another cool thing about the Ivecos is how quiet they are. Like, they're pretty well insulated. You can actually carry on a conversation going down the interstate in these, unlike the Unimogs that I've owned, where you got to scream and you have a headache when you're done driving them at the end of the day. So there's a tear here on the driver's seat. Another unique thing about this Iveco is it's also a 6-speed, which is just, it's still, the stock tires are still governed at 57 miles an hour. With these big tires at 665. But the cool thing with a 6-speed is that you don't find that huge gap on the other trucks between the top 2 gears, between 4th and 5th. With this one being a 6-speed, the ratio is closer together. And so when you're going up a canyon or something, it seems like you always can find the right gear. You don't have the big gap between the gears that the other trucks like these and like the Unimogs have. So 6-speed's really nice. The only one I know of all the Ivecos that are like this in the US that have the 6-speed. You have high range, flip that to the left, low range. Park brake, you have it's all-wheel drive, and then you have a center locking differential and a rear locking differential. Center and rear locking differential. And then this right here is your RPMs. You can hand throttle that. This is for the diesel cab heater right there that turns that on. And so this is just fire apparatus. The sirens and stuff still work. We usually take them off because I don't want it looking so much like a fire truck. But others might like it. All the gauges are in good shape. This only has 24,000 kilometers on it. So I'm guessing that's about 15,000 miles approximately. So truck's in good shape. Here's the headliner here. It looks like they had some radio stuff here that could be replaced with like a regular stereo unit. This is missing one of those porthole covers. They're supposed to look like that. It's missing it. But we sure like these trucks. They seem to run great. And having the, really it's set up for 9 passengers now, but we add that, we turn this rear facing seat into a 4-person seat, and then it's a good 10-passenger vehicle. So it makes it really nice cruising up hills or trying to keep up with traffic. The nice thing about these Ivecos is you can talk normally while going over 60 miles an hour. We removed most of the bracketry and stuff. The only thing left to do is to pull out this fiberglass tank. You can unbolt it, slide out the back. We found it almost easier just to use a Sawzall and chop it into pieces and tear them out. So that's the one other thing. We also have, when you pull some of the stuff, it leaves that open. So that would just need to put some aluminum or metal on top of that. And then you can, and a lot of these rails can be taken out too to make it flat, because that PTO no longer is needed. Coming to drive the water pump in the back, so you can make that floor nearly flat to make it a nice little camping rig. Just want to give you an idea of what you can do to these Mercedes and Ivecos. This is our 160 horsepower Iveco. That Red Label Auto built this, cool light bar. This thing lights up the world at night. Big bull bar, massive winch in there. Up on top is a pop-up rooftop tent we can put up there. So you can sleep 3 in that. Plus in these backs, like here's the Mercedes we have that's just open, but this is what can be done is we put Alex put a queen size bed in here, water tank and a pump, and we have a hot water system here. Got TV in it, makes it nice for the kids when you're camping. Pulled out the diamond plate, step running boards, and they had this built. Had everything bed lined so it wouldn't rust. He also put 2 24-volt air compressors so you can fill up tires and work on the machine if you had to in emergency. Light bars on the back. ARB awning that pulls out. Back here we got a bank of 4 batteries to make 2 sets of 24 volt. Honda generator here, just to charge up the house batteries. Back in here, get DVD players inside, small air conditioning unit, electrical one. See all the different inverters and things that are put into it. Stereo system. And just tidied up the dash a little bit and put these racing seats in it. So give you an idea how nice you can make these Ivecos if you want to. Also give you an idea of painting the fenders black. I feel like that definitely makes it not look so fire trucky. So there it is.